carrot. Then we're going to put another green bean. We'll put just a touch more butter in here. And I'm going to put another carrot. I'm going to put another green bean. I'm going to put another carrot. This one's a little heavy. Another carrot. Another green bean. Another carrot. And another green bean. Now we're going to time-elapse this. When you come back, I'm going to have this all full of green beans and carrots, and we will have taken the blanched leaves and the Brussels sprouts out of there and shocked them in the ice water also. So we'll be back in a few minutes, the length of time it takes me to get this completed, all right? We're rocking here. Now what I did was I completed placing all the carrots. But the problem is I can't lean it down for you to see too well, but I think you got a pretty good idea here. You got the peas in the bottom, and all the carrots and the green beans all the way around. Now, I put it in the fridge for a second just to get the butter to solidify because it's so soft, the stuff is falling off if I try to tilt it to show to you. But anyway, there we go. Now, and I took all of the Brussels sprouts, and the big ones I quartered, and the medium-sized ones I cut in half because you don't want whole Brussels sprouts inside there. You know, it depends how big they are. If they're really tiny, you can use them whole, okay? Now, on the bottom, on the inside of the mold, we're going to make an overlapping, and you can blanch the squash if you want to. If you cut it really thin, you really don't have to. You can do it either way. I usually don't blanch it. I end up with better colors, I think, at the end. But if you blanch it, the squash, you just drop it in the boiling water and then right in the ice water. Just give it about 10 seconds in the boiling water. That's it. Excuse me. Okay, we'll cut some of the yellow. And what we're going to do is we're going to make overlapping shingled pattern on the inside bottom of the mold, which is what I'm going to do right now with the zucchini and the yellow squash. I'm going to press it right up against the peas. We're going to do the outside perimeter of the inside of the mold first, okay, with the squash. Then we'll do another circle inside that when we get done. And I'm going to time elapse this. This is going to take me 3 or 4 minutes to put the squash in here, and then I'll come back and show you the finished product, okay? As you can see now, we have everything overlapping like shingles inside there. You want to make sure that shingle overlapping effect is in there because that will affect your final look when you turn the mold out, okay? So that's what it looks like after you have the beans, the carrots, the peas, the butter, and the squashes in there, okay? Now we're going to begin the rest of the assembly process, which is fairly simple, okay? Which is mashed potatoes, cabbage, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, more mashed potatoes, more cabbage, more cauliflower, more Brussels sprouts, blah, 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 blah. Okay, now, be right back. Get that camera back on that thing now. We're done with the remote aspect of the chartreuse. Okay, now for the final assembly. This is the hard part of making the vegetable chartreuse is over. The final assembly begins with a layer of mashed potatoes. Now I have potatoes here with the skin on that I seasoned with butter, salt, and pepper only. Now we're going to put a layer carefully on here, being careful not to move the squash in the process. You want to keep that squash in that position that it's in. Now this, once you get the first layer mashed in here, you're pretty much cementing this together then, you see? So make sure that as you lay the mashed potatoes against the green beans and carrots that they're exactly where you want them to be in there, and they're nice and flat and flush. Now sometimes you'll turn one of these molds out. It doesn't come out exactly the way you want. A pea or two might fall or tumble, in which case you just pick that pea up and put it back where it belongs before you serve it, that's all. Now, it's starting to become easy, and it's not so delicate anymore. See, now I can pick it up and show you. I got mashed potatoes in there. And I'm not going to go up the sides. We're going to build up the sides here slowly. So we're going to throw a few Brussels sprouts in here. Better yet, let's throw the cabbage leaves in there first. What's the matter with me? Let's trim the tough part, which is right here, of the cabbage leaf off, okay? And let's coat the inside of this with the cabbage leaf. Now let's hit it with some Brussels sprouts. And let's hit it with a little bit of cauliflower. And breaking them up in smaller pieces as we put them in there, the cauliflower. Now let's hit this with some salt and pepper. Now you don't have to have Brussels sprouts and cauliflower, but they are good, or broccoli, and broccoli is also on your ingredient list. These are nice, firm, heavy vegetables that work well. I got a little chopped dill, which is also not on the ingredient list, but you can put your fresh herbs right inside here if you want. And I would put a little bit of whole butter dotted around in here. Not too much, a little bit here and there, okay. Now we're going to put a little bit more mashed. Now you can start to press this down a little bit more firmly as you put these next layers in. And let's get some more cabbage in there. This will probably serve 8 to 10 people. On the table as on like a family style presentation. This should be the last of the cabbage right here. And I need some more mashed in a bowl, please, Louis. Another layer of cabbage, and I see how that looks now. Getting higher and higher to the top of the mold. Now this is your last layer of stuff that's going in here now. Brussels sprouts. Cauliflower, break them up in smaller pieces. Cauliflower's cooked perfectly. More salt. Thank you. More pepper. More fresh dill. More butter. Butter, salt, and pepper does the trick. Now this item can be served, of course, with a butter sauce or a cheese sauce or a roasted red pepper sauce or a roasted garlic butter sauce and whoop, things like that. All right, we're going to put the final layer of mashed on here now. You see where we're going here now. We're almost there, too. Now you want to make sure that you are flat with the potatoes on the top, which I think we are. At this stage right here is when you want to cut your vegetables off, okay? Carefully.